Good evening. Welcome back to New York Outcast. I'm here tonight filling in for Rick. Rick's had some PC issues. Some of you might have caught his little clip he sent out earlier, so I figured I'd try to jump in and do something for him. So threw a bunch of invites out. Nobody showed up yet, so we'll see what happens. Sorry about the shaking there on the camera. Tonight's his Shooting with Disabilities night. I did have kind of some topics on that, but kind of be, I don't know, just my opinion, I guess. And it's hard to have a discussion with yourself, especially live on air. So might just pass over that depending how things go. Um, See who's out in the chat here tonight. Wow, it's been going for a while. That's cool. Thanks, guys, for showing up. Looks like Buck was out there, Tactical Fud, Kingpin, Seven Wonders, Sam of Anarchy. What do we got? Krabby Turtle, Rich White, Moo, Two Live Moo. Um, hmm. Lots of back and forth amongst each other. Excuse me. We had the Caucasian Sasquatch out there. Excuse me. Sorry. Was slamming coffee right before I started it. Probably wasn't a good idea. Guns and Barbecue, how's it going? But let's see. Normal. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Rick, man. So I guess PC problems. So I did send him an invite. Not sure, being PC problems, if he can even get on or whatever. But I thought it would be the courteous thing to do. We're also joined out there by Kevin John. Sorry if I'm ruining that, but yeah. So I don't know if you guys noticed, Rick was last week's show. I thought was a little different. He was more on pace and kind of kept with things. So I thought that was cool. So maybe he's on a new leaf here, and now his computer giving him trouble or something. But we'll see how it goes. Um, so that was pretty neat. Obviously, we've had Independence Day. So I guess some call it Fourth of July. Fourth of July, Independence Day. I prefer to look at it as Independence Day, especially with everything going on today. I'll try not to get you know deep into that. We all probably share the same opinions on some things, but there's definitely some relations to the past to now, in my opinion. So, but I'll just kind of leave it there. Let's see here. We got G23 out there. SS Pawn. So it's a going stand. Good to see you. So yeah, give it a few minutes. Maybe somebody will show up on these invites. If not, then I'll continue on for a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll talk the topics to myself, or go through the process of in and out of the chat with them or something. So see a couple people out there that I've sent links to, but that's the way things go these days. So everybody's not always available. But Defense Dad was out there. I missed him. So how you doing, man? But yeah, so obviously Independence Day. Hopefully you guys had a good one. Been putting polls out there in my community section. Not a lot lately, but if you look, you'll notice one out there that asks, "How was your Independence Day?" So definitely, vote in the polls. Let me know at some point when I do my own show, like my official own show. I'm probably gonna run through those polls at some point. So because honestly, I think there's some topics in there with that. And from what people say to what people tend to vote, at least in my polls, sometimes seem different. So I think there might be something to discuss there. So If you're going to stick around or join my shows in the future, participate by filling out the polls, leave your opinions. I plan on continuing to do some more polls that, I plan to bring back up later in time in the future here as well. So, but basically, it's kind of how we get a good opinion or feel for things, and sometimes challenge our own ideas, in a sense, or thoughts by looking around and seeing what the numbers really are, and the honest polls, because we know all the YouTube people out there that vote in these things are 100% honest, right? I hope so. So, uh, to my knowledge, it's kind of, or what is it? I can't think of the word now. Yeah, basically nobody knows. It was you. So if you're that non-freedom loving guy that doesn't like mac and cheese, and you click that in the poll thing, nobody's gonna know. I wonder, in some cases, I wondered if it was Rick just on the mac and cheese aspect alone. But yeah, the whole freedom part, I think Rick would prefer the freedom, so I don't know. But the mac and cheese might have sent him over the edge. You never know. Oh crap, we got the Misfits Darling out there. Let's see. So let me see what you guys got going on out here. Let's see. GMC TX is out there. Good evening. What is this? The whole gift thing. Some of you might not have caught it, but G23 chased down a cow and tanned it and burned a love note into it and gave it to his lady. So looked pretty good. Holster there too. So if you doubt me, I don't know, go look or something. I don't know. But basically, that holster I was a little concerned with. I'm just going to say it publicly. I don't know. I know he got it from somebody. It might have been a YouTube person out there, but it did not cover the trigger well. So unless you don't like your wife, I'd make sure it does before you go ahead and hand that over to her, because I definitely see that being a problem. Hopefully the conditioning or whatnot will get that seated a little better. But I personally would be concerned about a holster that doesn't cover the trigger. That's just me. So not trying to knock anybody or anything like that. Maybe it fits perfectly now. I don't know. That's not me. So, but anywho, I see something mac and cheese that just like squirrel got me here. Yeah, I totally agree. Like, it's worth getting in the ring to fight somebody for mac and cheese, like the good stuff. You had to. That or dollar menu, like ding ding ding, let's go. It's crazy. Like, that's good stuff. But yeah, I kind of wanted to cover disabilities. Try to keep the theme going a little bit with Rick. Rick's show, trying to stay on the ball a little bit. I wanted to kind of cover the things you don't see. Now, I won't get too much into this today. Maybe people pop in, or in the future with Rick's chats, maybe he'll pick this up. Honestly, I don't think he watches these. I don't know. He probably knows I talk about mac and cheese too much or something. I don't know. But either way, I think it's something that should be brought up basically, and one of them would be depression. I think a lot of people are depressed out there, man. I know people. My mom's depressed. I'll put it that she's what they call clinically depressed, I believe, or has been at one time, taking medications. I know a few people like this, and I think that's that could be an issue with firearms. Now, I don't think somebody that's depressed is necessarily like suicidal, flaggable, any of that crap. I personally think if you're not depressed at some point, then I don't know, you must be on drugs or something, because everybody gets up and down. You know what I mean? But the trick is not to get stuck in a rut. My opinion. I'm no doctor or nothing like that, but it's kind of mind control in a sense. Somebody says something to me, I can choose how I'm going to take that. So, I mean, some of that stuff, I think you're not granting yourself enough power. But anyway, again, see, this is no fun with nobody here to yell at me or whatever. But just some ideas out there. That would be one of them. Basically, depression. Another one could be. Sorry, I don't mean to ignore you guys, but it's hard to stay on topic and check everything. It's up 223. Another one might be. See, now I got lost. Think here. I had a whole list in the shower earlier. I should have wrote it down. I'm pulling a Rick. Let's see. There's depression. We covered that. Kind of covered that. Man, I'm drawing a blank now. I just straight up ricked it. But all right, I'll check the chat until it comes back to me here. Sorry, folks. This is not top entertainment as you see. So let's see. It looks like everybody's saying hi to each other, which is cool. Let's see. Barbecue, I didn't, but I can. Hold on one second. Let me hit my buttons over here. Ooh, yeah, whatever. Still drawing a blank. Sorry, folks. Now I've got distractions 3 ways. Hold on. I can't mute yet. All right, email sent to barbecue. Waiting for the computer to flip to another screen here. Apologize for all this. Let's see. That. Thank you for joining, Rich. Be right with you.
Been in here sooner, but you sent it to the wrong email.
Sorry. I do that occasionally, so. All right. Sorry about that. Well, who are you?
Who am I?
Unloaded Media, in case there's anybody new out there.
I think it's everybody. I think it's the usual crew out there. I didn't see anybody new. Well, at least that are talking. Because remember, folks, if you don't say something, we don't know you're there.
It's true.
So,
yeah. All right. Well, anyway, Rich White, thanks for joining us. Now, let me see. Try to jump back. Depression. You know anybody that suffers with depression?
My wife can at times. But that goes back to her history, which we've talked about off air, and I'm not getting into it now.
Yeah.
You know this. You know the story, right?
I don't know, but we'll skip over that for now or whatever. But
yeah.
Do you have any advice for any gun owners with depression? I mean, do you see that as a instant red flag because somebody's depressed?
That depends on how they're behaving. I mean, if you see somebody that clearly looks like they are extremely down and may be having certain thoughts, you might want to talk to them and try and get them some help somehow. Let them know about the organizations that if they are having those kind of thoughts, that do hold on to your firearms for you so that you don't end up losing them by doing something stupid. That kind of thing. But keep in mind, just because they don't have the firearms in their home, if they are having those kind of thoughts, doesn't mean that they're not going to be able to go and do it some other way. So, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I mean, people have hung themselves, overdosed on prescription or non-prescription drugs. So, I mean, not having the firearms in the home necessarily is going to save them, but it could potentially. You know what I mean? So just talk to them. Try and get them help if they're willing to go and talk to a therapist if you think they need to do that, or even talking to them yourself, you might be able to get them to open up and talk about. Sometimes just talking about what's bugging somebody who's depressed can help. You know what I mean?
Okay. We're also joined by Barbecue. Now, he claims to be one of these grill meisters, but to this day, I bug him about mailing some samples, and he refuses to do so. So I don't even know if the guy can truly cook. Welcome, Barbecue. You got anything to say to yourself?
You didn't get that barbecue I sent you.
No, man.
You know what it was?
There was a box that was leaking some Uzi stuff, and a couple flies around it, but I didn't even open that.
No, I think what happened was I included a gun in with the barbecue because it's guns and barbecue, but I shipped it UPS, so they probably.
Oh, all right.
I know. I didn't even think about it. I'm sorry.
No problem. You know anybody with depression? You seen this effect on people or anything? You got any advice for youngers? Now,
Honestly,
when I refer to depression, I don't always mean the absolute, there's writing on the wall about it. I just mean,
I think I know more people with depression than I care to admit knowing. My ex, she deals with it. Her girlfriend deals with it. My sister. I know a couple people that are YouTubers that deal with it. Yeah, there's a lot, and if you're paying attention, you'll probably be surprised at how many people are dealing with it. But like a lot of things, depression is a spectrum as well. Like Rich said, let people know if they're having those kinds of thoughts. But I think that's about as deep on the spectrum as you can get when people start having thoughts of self-harm. Now, likewise, you could be a lot lighter on the spectrum where you're just having crappy days and you're in a rut. And I mean, that is a depression. Is it severe? No, but definitely isn't something that should be dismissed. And I think that's one of the things, though, is when depression is talked about, it's always that extreme where it's somebody that is thinking about self-harm, and I think it takes a while to get to that point. Well, I shouldn't say it takes a while, but I think it takes a lot to get to that point. Now, does that mean it necessarily takes a while? No. If you get bombarded with all kinds of stuff at once, life can take a heck of a turn on you. Likewise, if it's just a bunch of stuff that has mounted up over time, then it could take a while. So I think one of the things, especially just in our own firearms community, is recognizing the signs, things like that, and reaching out, being a good friend, a good neighbor, and kind of identifying before people get to those points.
Okay. So I think it's clear. Well, at least we got a small sample here, but depression is a big issue in this country. So not just with gun owners or whatnot, but that's could be classified a disability that you don't see everywhere. People don't always have a parking pass or something. Now, do you? I'm sorry, I might have missed it, but do you have any suggestions, Barbecue, as far as if there's somebody out there listening that is depressed, any suggestions on how to get out of that spiral?
Well, one, I'm going to plug Brooke Cheney with a Great Start Shooting School. Every Saturday, she does a program called Suicide Prevention Saturday. And it truly is awesome just to see her sit there. I mean, this is what her niche is in 2A, and it's remarkable. Um, like Rich said, just because you remove the firearms from the home doesn't mean that if they're to that point where they're thinking about self-harm, that they wouldn't find another way. One time I was talking to Brooke, and I don't remember what exactly I'd asked her, but 85% of suicides are via firearms. However, the majority of suicide attempts are with pharmaceuticals. But pharmaceutical suicide attempts are only successful 3% of the time, she said. So, as opposed to, again, with a firearm, much more, much higher rates. So, while you get rid of something, that there's still other means for people to do stuff if they're really intent on doing it. But I guess my advice is don't be afraid to talk to somebody. Call up your best friend, call up your mom, your dad. I mean, heck, if you're listening to this right now, I'm not going to throw my phone number out online, but there are plenty of ways to contact me, whether it be via email, Instagram, the Desert Barbecue Facebook page, and you send a private message on there. I'm not going to tell anybody, oh, so-and-so called me and they're having this issue. Nope. Case in point, Midnight Range had entrusted me with some info, I don't know, a couple months ago back. And it was like a month after that. Apparently he had told Two Live Moo, and I get a call from Moo, and Moo's like, "You son of a bitch." I was like, "What?" He's like, "You didn't tell me that you talked to Midnight." I was like, "When?" And he's like, and he's kind of like, "About this thing." I was like, "He tell you?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, and then he's like, "That's freaking awesome that you didn't say anything to anybody." I was like, "Fuck yeah." When I'm told to, keep something to secrecy, take it to my grave. So, like I said, if you don't have anybody else to turn to, whether it be family, a best friend, or anything like that, or you just want somebody that would be more neutral to sit there and shut up and listen, or if you think that I could provide advice, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Once you reach out an email or something, say, "Hey, I'm having this issue or that issue," I'll probably toss you my phone number and say, "Hey, let's chat about it." But that's a big thing. You gotta break out of that shell, know that while there is a stigma, the stigma is created by our community, and it is kind of detrimental. You got to, first step is talking about it.
Okay. Yeah, I'd throw that advice, talking about it. I seen Tim S's out there comment, number one is to talk to a professional. I don't know. You know what I mean? Depending who you are, your situation. In some cases, I feel there's the whole mandated reporter aspect and this and that. I don't know. I think you can find answers sometimes just in everyday things. It's just you got to be looking for them. I don't know. I'm not a professional. Honestly, I'm not depressed. I've had my moments where I've been down. I think most people would be lying if they said not, or on drugs or something. I don't know. But in a sense, going to an outside source could have been issues. Suicide was never honestly a thought. It's just, sometimes you just get stuck a little bit on the wrong side of things. So, but again, what works for me isn't for everybody. But I think trying to stay positive is a comment somebody put out here. Things could always be worse. There's people always in worse spots than you, and you've probably seen them. You're just not thinking about them at that point. So I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to be a counselor or anything like that. Tim S. did mention the therapists are covered basically through most insurance and stuff. I mean, depending on your situation, by all means, I wouldn't tell anybody not to go. I'll put it that way. But in some cases, you just got to kind of, I think, being a little more perceptive, open-minded perspective seems to be the big thing with a lot of stuff. And I've known people that have, been to the extreme. I've personally seen rare cases with like situations where somebody I didn't really know showed up and was wrongly rejected by somebody else after going through a world of crap to get to them, and they literally turned around and ran hysterically. I tried to chase this person down. I just happened to be at the place, seen something wasn't right. Kid was fast, man. I mean, fast. And he ran right up on a bridge and swan dived off. Boom. Like you'd be shocked how quick somebody's head swells up. I'm not trying to bring this down, but I'm just stating, like, sometimes you can't help people either. So, but definitely get help if that's something, something's on your mind. So, I was just trying to come up with some topics that were disabilities that, in a case people don't necessarily see all the time. So, you guys got anything else to add into this? Again, I prefer not to turn this into a Debbie Downer session.
One thing people have to remember, there's a difference between being depressed and having clinical depression. That's something that people need to keep in mind as well. Just because you're feeling blah and nothing seems to be going your way on a given day, that doesn't necessarily mean you have clinical depression. That just means you could be having a bad day. If you're clinically depressed, trust me, you will know that. Or if you see somebody that has clinical depression, you will know the difference. You will come to see the difference real quick.
No, you say there's a lot in this community. Is there anything we can do as a group to help? I don't know. Maybe brighten their day in a sense. Not saying like as an individual, but could we just be better to each other as a whole? I mean, honestly, I don't think we're really that bad to each other. We joke around, we stuff like that. Sure, there's probably some scandals or something out there. I don't know. People don't tell me nothing, but all in all, I think we're fairly decent. Is there anything?
As far as that's concerned, the best thing we can do is be there for each other. Like Barbecue was saying, anytime you call him, he'll keep your secret. He'll talk to you. We all have to do that kind of thing. I mean, if somebody is feeling a certain way and you think talk to them. Just talk to them. Have a conversation. Let them know there's somebody there that'll listen.
Cool. Yeah, I pretty much agree. Or maybe at some point, something I try to do is every once in a while, I'm great at, like, somebody lines themselves up, I can put a joke in there real quick. Lots of us can. If you were in the military, you have to, like, things like this. But you could also throw something positive in there too. You know what I mean? So once in a while, I try to, I don't know, be nice, be positive. Is that something we could all do with a little bit more self-improvement on? I'm sure I'm not the only one out there, but just a suggestion, an idea.
It's one of the reasons why on my show on Sunday nights we don't always talk about a serious topic. Sometimes we'll play like trivia, or we'll do like a bracket, something fun that breaks up in the monotony to bring a little positivity and fun into the chat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Well, let's, for lack of a better word, bury that topic. We'll move on.
1 second, Rob. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, you mentioned the mandated reporter thing, and I don't want people to have the wrong idea. If you go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist or anything, or just a regular therapist, don't matter. If you're like, hey, I'm having thoughts of self-harm, they can talk to you, all that fun jazz. That's supposed to stay between you and them, unless they really thought like, man, this guy's gonna walk out of here and turn themselves into a swing set. You know, it's supposed to stay between you and your doctor. Now, if you were like, oh, I'm gonna go and do something stupid, like kill a bunch of people at the mall, that is where they have to really go, oh, okay, I've got to report this now. So definitely don't be scared away from going and seeking professional help. And like Tim has said, that would really be the best place to start. But I also realize that for some people that is a taboo to them. Like they are really breaking down to a point where they're like, I got to go see a doctor about this. And that's another stigma that has to be gotten over. So I see New York's laughing. What was so funny? What I miss?
Sorry. Misfits Darling's comment out there. Just remember, Biden can't stay president forever. That'll make you feel better.
Yeah. He had to laugh at that so he didn't get in the doghouse.
Well, honestly, it's funny. But yeah, whatever.
If you want to change the topic, I'm going to go into that comment. I don't know if you guys saw, but Biden was caught today selling the oil from our national strategic reserve to Europe and China.
Really?
Yeah. There have been a couple of Democrats that have come out now calling for his impeachment.
Oh, man, they can't impeach him yet. I'm going to say they need to wait till January.
I've actually got another topic sticking on the disabilities because, to be honest with you, I couldn't care less what Biden says or does personally. But
that's what I like. All right, Rob.
I'd rather keep this off Biden for all I care. But all right, I had this genius idea in the shower. Speaking on disability terms, do we disable ourselves as a society now? I was hoping to have more people in here in the room on this question, but are we making crutches for ourselves? As disabled people, are we? Can you do more and just choose not to because society expects you to do less? And I don't mean to insult anybody or try to, shame anybody in a sense. I'm not speaking of any individual to an individual. I'm just speaking to some of the things I see. I see people taking paychecks for their kids because they can, and instead of being parents, they put them on drugs because they're, active children that don't necessarily want to sit still and don't want to do this, don't want to do that. So same thing as far as, are we putting those crutches on some of these kids now to get a paycheck? Are we not parking with everybody else because we can get a sticker, even though we can walk up there, but we decide not to? So I know I'm kind of dumping a lot out there in a sense, but as a disabled person, can you do more? I mean, can you? Because I've grown up with some people that are disabled. I can't necessarily remember what exactly it is, but let's see, 2 sisters, 2 brothers. They all either are in a wheelchair or on crutches. They'll cut their own grass. They ride 4-wheelers. They've ridden motorcycles. First time I was on a snowmobile with one of these guys. They do crazy stuff, race cars, all types of things. Like, they will sit there and fall 3 times to drag their leaves to their curb. And if you try to help them, they're going to yell at you. Like, they don't want your help. They don't want to be treated different. I see less and less of that now. So are we,
I think it is.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think it is purely a person by person basis. Even for myself, I hate the fact that I am on Social Security disability, but at the same time, when I lost my vision, I was making $85,000 a year driving a truck. My other professions before I drove truck, I was a photo tech at Walgreens, former corrections officer, and former armed security / unarmed security officer. So 3 out of those 4 jobs really require me to have good vision. The first one, photo tech at Walgreens, I could go there and click buttons, but it's not going to pay my bills. It's not going to really do anything. And now, having said that, I realize how it sounds. Oh, barbecue, rather sit there and grab a check from the government. No. When I drove truck, I had long-term disability insurance. Now, that disability insurance makes it where I can have a very comfortable living and provide for myself and my children. Without that, I would 100% be looking to find a job doing something, because disability from the government alone would not be enough to sustain and pay my bills. But in a sense, you could say that I won the lottery. Granted, I had to get that ticket. It was my vision, and that blows. Whenever I hear somebody say, "Oh man, it must be nice," yeah, trade you my vision so I can have your vision, and then I'll go back to driving truck, making $85,000 a year, or I'll go back to the county jail that just put a sign out for $15 an hour for corrections officers. I would love to go back to that job. But there are people who milk the system. There are people who purposely look for any way to try and get on disability. I am still... I'm in the infancy, of everything that's happening with me. I kick around different things. What could I possibly go do where I could have a good sustained income for myself and my children, and be happy with what I'm doing, and be productive still. But then there are some hurdles. One, I'll have to find a way to work every day. Things like that. Childcare. That's another nice thing for me is I do get to stay at home right now and take care of my kids. So I really think it's person by person. There are some people that they just want to sit there and collect a check from the government and do nothing. And like you said, Rob, they'll sit there and race cars and all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm sure if somebody went by my house and saw me out on my riding lawnmower, they'd be like, "Oh, how was a blind guy friggin' cut his grass?" Well, every time I have somebody come over, they're like, "Hey, you missed a spot." I'm like, well, no shit. Thanks. You want to cut it for me? Because otherwise, I'm probably going to miss spots. That, or I'm going to use a ton of grass because I'm going over my lawn in quarter tractor increments, But also, I'm going extremely slow. There's no way I could drive to work at the speed that I'm going on my lawn tractor. Honestly, I probably walk faster than I'm riding the lawn tractor at that point. No joke. So, sorry, I kind of DJ'd us there, but yeah, I think it's a person by person basis.
And as far as trading your vision with somebody else, I'm right there with you, barbecue. If my vision's not quite as bad as yours, but it's not a whole hell of a lot better, especially my left eye, which we've talked about it before. I mean, I close my eye, and this whole chat and the YouTube chat is nothing but a blur. So I know exactly. I would gladly trade my vision with somebody else, not you, obviously.
Yeah. I was like, screw you, barbecue.
Credit barbecue, in a sense, for at least still cutting your lawn. That's the spark I'm talking about, in a sense. Earlier, you were talking about struggling with installing your new lawnmower deck belt. So
that still didn't happen.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass. I've had trouble sighted, and I'm pretty good with this stuff. People call me out the blue to come fix their crap. So, yeah, and it's still giving me issues. So, yeah, the fact
No
that
joke.
you just didn't take it to the shop to begin with says something, I think.
Well,
and
part
I-
of that is I don't have a good way to get it to the shop.
Okay.
And plus, I know that I can get it done. It's going to take me a little bit longer. I wasn't planning on spending 7 hours on it today and still not being successful, but I think that's probably because I'm thinking the belt's too big. So I got to go back to the shop and say, hey, I think this belt's too big. Look it up again.
Snobs out there hitting on you, Rob.
Ooh.
You know, yeah. That's Rick, man. He'll surprise you. So, yeah, no, I think heart's lacking across the board in some areas, and but I want to say I've seen some amazing examples of heart with the handicap.
Oh, yeah.
They will get up and do something where somebody that's fully functional is too lazy to do in a heartbeat. I've seen them take risks, put themselves in jeopardy, make an ass of themselves to do it themselves. And the average person is too worried about how their hair looks or shoes look. So I think there's a lot of lessons that can be learned from the people with the heart. Same thing as military. On the way in, all the buff dudes, most of them don't seem to make it. They talk a lot of crap on the bus, and then they don't end up panning out in the long run. Those little dudes with the heart, they will surprise you. Let me tell you something. So, heart goes a long way, and I don't think you can. There's no cookie cutter shape for that. So, I appreciate it from everybody out there, disabled and able-bodied people. And I would just like to see more of it. And again, in some cases, I do feel people are creating kind of their own crutch, or they're falling into what society wants them to be. And if I fell for that, I'd be selling drugs and in prison and in a couple rap videos or something. You know what I mean? Honestly, my time frame growing up, that's where society pinned me to be. I'm not good with other people's ideas of what I should be. So that altered who I became. So just a little something. So all right. So you guys got anything else on this, or
You talking about the guys in basic not making it when they're the big buff guys? Yeah, we had one of those big buff guys try and kill himself when I was a kid.
it wouldn't surprise me. So some of it's I don't know, man. Like I said, it surprises you. So it also surprises you, or surprises me what a husband will accept from a stranger towards his wife or something. So things like this. I mean, I think people are lacking. In some cases, it don't matter if you're going to lose. You should still say something, like in my opinion. But there should be heart there. You don't just give people something, let them take it.
Yeah.
So,
And Rob, you're talking about just me going out and excuse me, sorry, I had a frog in my throat like half the day now. Going out and trying to do my lawnmower belt, the deck belt, or whether it's me going out and weed whacking 2.5 acres because the grass is literally up to my chest. Or going out and making repairs to the chicken coop. I mean, it's always a hoot when somebody comes over and they see me using a power saw, like my miter saw or something, and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, check this out." It's plugged in and everything, and I'm lining up the wood, and I literally put the blade down to where it touches the wood, and then I will have my finger touch the blade and everything, so I know everything's lined up and all kinds of stuff. And people are just like, "Oh," it's just I do what I have to do. But I also know that I have 3 kids that are watching me, especially my son. My son, I lost my vision 5 months before he was born, so he will never get to know dad as that guy who works his ass off, who worked 2 jobs when he was driving truck. I was driving truck and still doing security, partly just because I like the security job, but because too, on the weekends I was like, you know what, I could be sleeping, or I could be making some extra money for the family, and going and doing a job that I kind of enjoy as a hobby now, and having that extra income for the family anyways while they're sleeping. So I was always busting my ass working 2 jobs. So while I can't do that now, I can be sure to try and instill a good work ethic in my kids, especially my son, since he didn't get to see me doing that earlier.
Yeah, I've put in multiple applications, and well, I was going to put one in at Walmart for asset protection, but I was told I was overqualified because of my bachelor's degree. If I'd had the associate's degree, I'd have been okay. But since I have that BS instead of the AA, I'm
Well, nobody wants
overqualified.
bullshit. Come on.
You know damn well it's not what I meant. I mean, I don't have armament and axes either, so I mean, come on. But yeah, I was told I was overqualified for that, and other applications I put in, I just never heard anything back from them.
All right. Well, that was basically, it kind of worked out kind of like I hoped. It would have been nice to have maybe a little more input from other parties, but we covered, basically depression and do we disable ourselves. So that's 2 topics for the world out there that were disability related that you might not see. So keep an eye out. Yeah, or ear out, whatever. Uh, Other than that, now, you guys got anything on your mind? How was your guys' 4th of July or Independence Day? Yeah, I got to say it both ways depending on who I'm talking to, I guess. So it should be Independence Day all the way across, but
Should be.
people
I
don't
agree.
even know what the heck it is. Like, they're
Mhm.
like, what? Like,
Yeah.
that's a problem right there.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day myself. Everybody says Happy 4th of July. No, it's freaking Independence Day.
Yeah. Well, we didn't do much of anything because wife was working that day. She was
Right.
working Monday. Yeah, but they had the fireworks display here in town that night, but she was so exhausted because she was working all day. 'Cause she had to be there at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning on Monday. Yeah, she didn't get home until almost 6. So she was completely exhausted when she was done working.
I myself, I was up at 7 a.m. on Sunday to go to a flea market. Had fun doing that. Then went to the gun range. Got my AR sighted in. I had bought a Sight Mark red dot for quite a while ago, and I was like, I'm gonna have to have somebody else, sight it in for me just to be sure. So my uncle went out with me and he shot it. First 4 shots, you could covered with a quarter. I was like, hot dang. I mean, it was dead on, right? Just slapping it right out of the box. I was like, cool. So eventually, I was supposed to cook for my best friend's Independence Day party. And he finally told me, oh, yeah, I just want you to cook at your place. I don't want to come get your smoker and have you cook here. I'm like, all right, cool. So I tried to get a couple-hour nap. Kids did not let me partake in that at all. So by the time I got to bed on Monday night, I had been up for 41 hours. But cooked 6 pork shoulders. I cut, I think it was 30 chicken quarters into drums and thighs. Then cooked all those plus extra. I think I had done about 90 pieces of chicken in total, 4 pounds of smoked macaroni and cheese, and about 5 quarts of the baked beans that I make. And then got that all shipped off to my best friend. His mother and stepfather came by the house and picked it up, and apparently everything was good. So
Yeah, didn't you start cooking at like 3 a.m. or something.
No, I started prep work at midnight, Monday night. Fired up the smoker around 2 a.m. and was getting ready to get everything on about 3 a.m.
Yeah, you were cleaning up everything Sunday. You get ready to
Gunpowder
smoke
Beauty.
these.
So we're joined by Gunpowder Beauty, the Shaggy Rifleman, the Echo's Reloading Chamber. I believe I already mentioned 223 Reloading from the Hot Pot.
All kinds of good people out there.
So, if anybody else out there I missed, my apologies.
7 Wonders.
Yep, Seven's been out there. Trying to get everybody a shout out here. Let's see, Matt. Cheers from PA. Sweet. PA's not too far from me, and barbecue's in the PA area. So
Yeah, and PA's one state over. Well, 2 if you count Maryland. Who
Where
counts
at in PA there, Maddie?
Yeah, we're in PA.
and what's your social security number? Just
You
kidding.
got Defense Dad out there. Patriot
like
in
the
the
early
dark, that
2000s.
slacker.
Damn it. No.
Yeah. It's like the early 2000s ASL.
Yeah.
Patriot out there. What's up, man?
Feel like he should have been in here.
Chris from the 740. So,
He's got a show tonight.
yeah, I think 9 o'clock.
Yep. And say this should be a good one.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say Chris's show should be a good one. I'm not familiar with the Shaggy Rifleman. I'm gonna have
he's
to
up
check
here.
him out.
And Matt's up here near you. Barbecue's up in Erie.
Oh, really? Awesome. I am down in Guys Mills area. I should say Meadville. People are a lot more familiar with Meadville.
Yeah. Yeah, just tell me you're from Conneaut.
Yeah.
That's cool. I know we ended up sticking around the house for Independence Day, so can't remember all we did. We had like a really busy week and a half prior to it, so pretty much all came to a crashing halt, the end of the weekend there. So kind of blurs together, but ended up sticking around, and turned out, honestly, I was personally glad we did. For one, saved money. Didn't have to pay for parking. Didn't have to deal with a bunch of idiots on the roads. The checkpoints, all the other crap. And we got a pretty good show from my back porch, or from the house here, in a sense. So, and honestly, I was beat. Like, running pretty much nonstop. I think that whole weekend I might have slept like 6 hours, something like that, or 8 hours in 3-4 days. It was pretty crazy. So it's pretty much what happened on my end of things. So just giving my 2 cents since I asked you guys, but it looked like there was a comment out there. Shaggy Rifleman almost blew up his neighbor's house or something. So that's
Congrats.
Pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah, right.
depending on the neighbor.
12:30 Friday night, or no, 12:30 Sunday night after such a much. It was after we did the wrestling pay-per-view on Saturday. About 12:30 at night, it sounded like somebody blew up their house.
Man, it was.
I don't know what the hell they set off, but it sounded like their furnace blew or something. It was loud as all hell.
Wow. That was rumbling pretty good around here. Like, it started before dark, which is crazy because people are just blowing money. Launching mortars in the air and stuff. Like, it's not even dark; you can't even see them. Like, but they were going nuts, like all evening. So it's pretty cool. I was considering going out to like trying to find a overlook of the area or something like that to see if I can get like the whole valley area, but it was more impressive, I think, steadier, longer. I mean, it was just coming from everywhere. Basically better than I've ever seen it before locally. So I don't know if that's anything to do with the mayor saying they were going to crack down on fireworks and all this stuff, and everybody locally just said America, and nonstop just work together or what. But yeah,
Remember,
pretty good.
remember during the height of COVID a couple of years ago when Los Angeles said they weren't going to do fireworks display, and everybody and their mother in Los Angeles started setting off the fireworks, and it was all over the news and everything. And people were setting off like mortars and whatnot all over the city. The city was just ablaze with fireworks everywhere.
I don't recall that, but it seems like the human thing. I mean, yeah, we're all adults, but I don't know about you, but somebody like just goes out of their way to tell me no, it starts making me think about it. Like, well, wait a minute. So if you ask or something, but you straight up tell me, it's like, well, now you made it a problem. So I don't
Yep.
know.
They were estimating that fireworks display that was spontaneous by people that just lived in LA was the largest fireworks display in the city's history.
Hmm.
It was just a bunch of people that got tired of being told no. They went out and bought the fireworks and did it themselves.
Yeah. I can say I didn't buy anything as far as fireworks, and I enjoyed a pretty good show. So thank you, locals. I don't know how the hell you do it when you walk around looking like you haven't washed yourself in 2 weeks. Uh, Picking garbage all the time, but yet you put on one of the most impressive fireworks in the neighborhood. So more power to you. Maybe that's where you're getting your money to do it. I don't know. These people down there, they're nuts. I know they save their taxes and stuff, but I don't think any of them have a job. So I don't know how the hell they're doing this. There's some type of thing going on or what, but I appreciated it. So anybody out there happen to see it and you took part locally, thank you. Let's see here. What you want to be a mod for, barbecue?
So I can go and check out people's channels.
Oh, all right, all right.
Yep.
Let's see here. I don't even know how to do any of that stuff over here. So I haven't made anybody a mod, I don't think so. Let's see. Put you in timeout or block you, so I don't want to hit any of that. I don't think I can from where I'm at. Maybe
You can on your. You should be able to on your computer. Just hit the three dots next to their name. It should be.
yeah,
there.
that's what I hit, and I see put user in timeout or block user.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh,
Are you using the internal StreamYard chat?
yeah.
Probably.
That's
Yeah.
why you
You,
got to use the YouTube chat.
Okay. All right. I'll probably end up messing this all up if I get crazy with trying to open up more stuff. Shoot. So my apologies. Can't do it right this moment. Maybe once we pop off, I can try to. I don't. Well, actually, I probably can't do it then either. So,
do we no longer have to put like a hash or the @ symbol in front of people's names when we tag them?
No, you don't have to. You can just type their name.
Oh, I had no idea. I say because I just did that with my own name and it just highlighted it red. I was like, what the crap?
be my
Yeah,
first. Oh man, that's what I tell everybody. Like,
Yeah.
wow, you're gonna believe
I was
me?
just gonna go check out the Shaggy Rifleman's channel.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, Seven. No, you wouldn't. Jason Stewart's already got a wrench.
Oh.
Sorry, man. I don't do these often. I don't know. But I'll just put it out there. I'm not one of them people that like ban people. You can not like me, and it's all right. Obviously, if you spam the chat, I'd approve people to ban to kick them out, bump whatever. I don't know, but Yeah.
Sergeant Joe
got
Smith.
some racist remark or whatever. Personally, I don't. Dude, I grew up in a white town. Okay, it's gonna take more than whatever the hell you got to say to really bother me. You want to make an ass out of yourself? By all means, go right ahead. Let everybody know how big of an ass you are. That's my motto.
Sergeant Joe Smith wants a blue wrench just so he can put 7 Wonders in timeout. Somebody needs to before he gets himself in trouble again. He was out there hitting on your lady earlier, Rob. I don't know if you saw
Oh, well, that's 7, man. I mean, there ain't nothing you can do about that.
that. I know. What I'm saying, though, he gets himself in trouble way too much.
Hey, at least that one is 18.
Yeah, at least he's legal. Give him that.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, let's see. Did anything else happen on Independence Day that you know of besides this whole shooting fiasco? Any other thing getting pushed? You know, trains derail, anything newsworthy?
Well, they still haven't said what kind of rifle he used in Chicago. So there's
Oh, I
that.
didn't even hear about that.
Oh yeah. So, what was it? 8 people killed and like 30 others wounded at a parade in suburban Chicago.
You mean the place with the most gun control in the nation?
Mm-hmm. And this was a guy that had the police called on him before for threatening to kill people. So it's not the first time that he could have killed someone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and he
You
had
had another
strange face tattoos and stuff. You know, one of those kind of. He was.
yet another dropping of the ball by law enforcement. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
What happens?
Did somebody say he's Antifa?
I think that was Rich's wife in the background.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's my
okay.
wife. Yeah, he was. He was a member of Antifa, and his dad was like some bigwig in the Democratic Party up there or something.
That was for all the amazing people watching. That was Loaded Media.
Yeah.
Because Rich is Unloaded Media.
Uh huh.
Mhm.
This is a family show, man.
Well, one of you's got to be loaded. Come on.
Oh, we know it ain't him, but we'll leave it at that.
God, I don't drink. What's wrong with that?
You know she's your sugar mama.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, we've been on about an hour, so I figured we
You
could
can have
probably-
people thinking I'm like obnoxious and have this major gun collection and shit because I have a sugar mother. What's what you saying, man? What the hell are you talking
Hey,
about?
man,
You know damn well I ain't got that kind of money.
You brought all this food, like,
Glucos Madre.
getting driven around. You know, look
It
at
ain't all it's cracked up to be.
what you're saying, man.
Trust me, I wish I was allowed to drive.
Mm. Well, you drive me crazy sometimes. I can tell you that. So you just,
Wow, it's getting hot in here now.
The feeling's mutual, man. Okay.
hey, man, it's reality. But we still get along. Nobody sent any exploding gift or anything.
Yeah, by the way, Rich gets in here and you're like, so, tell us who you are. And Rich is like, well, we pretty much have a normal crew. And then boom, I get in here and you're like, and he's blind, he won't notice. Not asking him.
I still don't even know if you're really a barbecue guy. I mean, I never got those samples. So I'm just
I can't help what UPS did with the package.
Yeah, he figured you wouldn't have heard that because you're blind.
I thought you'd have been more upset about that friggin' new M&P 10mm that's not coming to you now.
that would definitely upset me. I would be very happy with one of those stuffed in a chicken.
I was checking out one of those CSXs, the ones that people complain about the trigger and stuff. The one I was playing around with didn't have that bad a trigger in it. At the local gun shop, it could use more grip on the, texture on the grip, but other than that, I didn't think it was that bad.
I haven't had actually I don't even think I've visibly seen one in person yet. So
I've seen
him
it twice.
online. It's not my cup of tea, but I wouldn't knock it for anybody. To each
It's
their own.
basically a hammer-fired M&P is all it is.
Yeah.
It's about the same size as a shield. But I've seen one in public twice now. Well, I've seen one in the wild once, and then the other one was at a trade show. I've seen the thing twice now, and neither one of them had super horrible triggers like what some of the guys were saying about. So I don't know. I guess it's like a hit or miss trigger kind of thing.
Well, if anybody's available, check it out. Oh,
Tuesdays night, it's 9 p.m.
Before we go, let me share a little bit because I want to try to wrap this up because I'm dying for another cup of coffee, and I don't want to do the man thing and be like, "Woman!"
That's her job.
She'll intentionally come in here and throw like
Misfits can't rob a refill.
So, plus I know
Chop.
other shows are coming up. But let me tell you,
Irish it up. Get him a refill and Irish it up.
I did obviously did a video for the 4th or Independence there, and now I'm getting like brainwashed and all this 4th crap, but made notice there was somebody new in the video, so I've been asked, so I'll get this out there. I don't know if RTAC's out there are gonna watch this later, but I don't have permission to tell you who the other person is. So, I was lucky to get permission to, video them shooting with us and this and that. So
You have 2 sugar mamas?
No.
This is incredible.
You try and get me killed, man. But anyway, out of respect, I don't have permission to get all detailed on who it is. I can state it's a friend of my daughter. So, but she's only shot a shotgun once prior to coming to this. So I think we lured another one in, basically is what I'm getting at, because
Very nice.
this girl was smiles, lots of smiles, and some laughing, the most animation I've seen so far. And the video, we were up there for a couple hours, so I had video running the whole time, all this. Obviously I can't make a 2-hour video, but there's a lot of stuff in there that I just didn't have room for, didn't have the time. But basically, I think this girl had a decent time. In the end, out of handguns, with a variety of firearms, she seemed to fall in love with the AR. So
very nice.
Yeah, I mean that's somebody did something right. Praise the Lord. That's all I'm saying.
Hallelujah.
Or the gun gods, whatever your thing is. But I just want to encourage people, reach out there. I try to get people all the time to do stuff, but nobody wants to be on video. Like, I don't know if it's a New York thing or what. Everybody's self-conscious, what the deal is. Maybe they're wanted, half them criminals. I don't know, but nobody wants to get on camera. But
heard that
Foss does, gets people out and tries to do this. Like, it's fun. It's fun getting somebody new out. Like, I wish I had more time in a sense, but I'd like to see more of this from you people, from everybody. So,
some people just don't.
Let's see what we can do, man. Well, I was one of those people. I couldn't for the longest, but even after that, I've been that way for so long that I wouldn't, I watched in the wind for I don't know how many years before I ever said anything. So, it's cool, I guess, to see that kind of switch happen, to see somebody's maybe stereotypes broken or this or that. Basically, if people are on the fence, if we can get a gun in their hand, I think we got them. I mean, I don't know, what do you guys think? But I haven't met anybody personally that shot and was scared to death and never wanted to touch one again. Just about every experience I got, they either loved it or they were okay. They didn't love it, but they were, but like 98%, they were in love. It's like a little kid with a giggle switch or something. Yeah.
You ever see the video where Ted Nugent took Pierce Morgan out shooting, and Pierce Morgan was having the time of his life? And at the end of the video, Nugent asked him if he had changed his mind on gun control. He's like, no, nobody needs these. The guy was all smiles the whole time, and then at the end says nobody needs them.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would have destroyed his career if he said anything otherwise.
Bro.
I don't know, because he's gone off the plantation with some other things like recently. So.
But no, I'm with you there, Rob. It is an absolute blast. Anytime I've gotten to take somebody shooting that has never shot, they instantly fall in love with it. They think it's the greatest thing ever. I mean, heck, this past Thanksgiving, I had the kids out. We were shooting a few things. At that point, my ex was having a really rough time. And since we lived next door, she had come out to, just kind of watch. But she's like, I want to shoot something. I was like, okay, take your pick. She's like, give me a 22. I was like, so I picked up my AR, being a smartass. I was like, well, this is 22 caliber. And she said, that's not a 22. I was like, I swear to God, it's 22 caliber. And she, we go through the whole little dance, and I was like, I swear it's 22 caliber. And so she's like, all right. And she freaking mag dumps it. I was like, oh my God, that was expensive. And then she turns around. She's like, if you still want to get me a gun, one of these would be fine. I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. Because I am their home defense plan, which I'm like, that's a terrible home defense plan. I was like, if you call me and something's happening, obviously, I'm right next door. Our kids are involved. I'm coming. But I was like, you need to have something in the meantime, because I can't just go running in there. And, because if I run in there and get myself whacked, that does nobody any good. I was like, so I've got to figure out a couple things before I were to even try and make entry. Like, where do they make entry? Things like that. I was like, you guys need to have something. So apparently an AR might be in the works for them.
So what 12 gauge were you having Misfit Starling shoot that she didn't like it?
I don't even know if I got permission to fully tell that story.
She brought it up.
That's my Mossberg 500.
What?
Mossberg 500 is not that bad. You got a recoil pad on that thing?
Well, no.
Oh, that could be why.
Well, you assume Misfit Starling can't just
too, so
soaking wet after she eats. So
yeah. You need to get a nice limb saver recoil pad on there and have her try again, or get a semi-auto. Semi-autos don't kick as much.
Mm-hmm. Should have just gave her a 3.5-inch turkey load. She's usually getting 3.5 inches from me, anyways.
Well, if you're gonna do that, you might as well give her a 3.5-inch deer slug. That'll be even better.
There you go.
Well, 5. I think she's stretching it.
The next shot, I'll take that back, because if Rob would have gave her a 3.5-inch deer slug, the next shot of that shotgun would have been going into him.
Yeah. Well, all right. So there was the shotgun deal was basically she was never interested in the shotgun, not the 12 gauge. So I was like, hey,
get her a 20.
You got to shoot it once. Like, you don't have to like it, but you got to shoot it once. So, I mean, basically, you got to be able to use it if you had to. Was my way to go about it. So, now I didn't literally twist her arm or anything. She said okay. She agreed to my reasoning at the time, and she shot it. Now it didn't go very well. She held on to it. It wasn't a problem. She actually got through it fine. Actually,
well, she did better than Stacy.
But about 2 hours later, that's when the problems came in. So I ended up taking her to a masseuse, this I don't know, Asian place. No offense. I don't know if I'm saying something wrong or whatever, but needless to say, these people do good work. As a matter of fact, I'm jealous. They did such good work. I think they released all the toxins in her body, and I ended up having to take her ass to the hospital in the middle of the night. So basically, it was a long story, and it all started with shooting the 12 gauge. So
get her.
Seriously,
try 20 gauge.
20
Try
gauge.
20.
it's fine.
Yeah, try a 20 gauge with her.
Yeah, the 20 gauge is all right. I mean,
Okay.
she can shoot the 12, but she might end up paying for it. The
Pay
20
for it
gauge
later,
she
yeah.
can shoot.
Hey, it could have been worse. It could have been a single shot 12 gauge. My stepfather had one of those, and it would bruise the hell out of your shoulder after firing about 4 or 5 rounds out of that thing. Like, next day you couldn't move your arm.
Yeah, so that's the 12 gauge story anyway. But all right, folks, I do want to wrap it up. Honestly, it's hot in here, and yeah, Rick show is only so long. Other people are trying to do their thing. I do appreciate everybody coming out. I really do. Anybody that catches this in replay, things like that, hit the thumbs, man. Or if you don't like it, tell me why. Feel free to let me know. So all this type of stuff gives me more experience and a better handle of things for when I do my own show here. So, but
When's that happening?
basically, it could be in 5 minutes. I don't know. I really don't have any reason not to do one sooner. Well, 5 minutes, I can think of a reason, but say probably soon at some point. So, as I mentioned earlier, check out the community tab on my page there, or my YouTube area. Vote in the polls. I'll have more polls out. Those polls will come up again in the future when for topics or segments through the show I plan to have at some point. So
You got to work on that phrasing, Rob. The polls will come up. Come on, man.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, man.
It's a short pole, 3.5 inches, no big deal.
Mm-hmm. It'll fit in a 12 gauge thing.
That's how you use it, I guess. But needless to say,
It's
you
like
guys
those
got
big.
anything to say on the way out?
Who do what now?
You got any closing plugs, as they say?
Let's see. We got the wrestling show Thingy Majigger. That's at 9:05 p.m. Eastern, and that's on Saturday. And then Sunday we do the This Week Unloaded thing. That's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Both of those are on the Unloaded Media channel. So go over to that channel, not the one that's going to show up if you click the 3 dots by my name if you had a wrench, but most people don't have a wrench because Rob can't figure out how to do that. But yeah, you see how my name's got the unloaded M because it doesn't, it's not big enough to fit all the way on the screen. But
That's what she said.
yeah, that's the thing you want to go to is Unloaded Media on the YouTubes or Unloaded Media _ Rich White over on the Instagrams too while you're at it. And I forget what the hell the channel is over on Rumble because they gave me some goofy ass thing instead of the actual channel name and the URL. So, but if you go watch one of my most recent videos, you also find the link to Rumble in the description on it. That's about it.
So what about you, supposed barbecue guy that yet to be proven?
Well, you're catching on to me. So this Saturday is the final barbecue chat, at least for the foreseeable future. Could it be fired up later in time again? Perhaps, but life's just been too busy. And so the final barbecue chat for the foreseeable future is this Saturday. Got a big giveaway happening for that now. There's no way to enter for that. The only way to enter is what you would have already had to been entered. That's the skinny of the long story. Be sure to go check out rnldisplays.com and do not use code 1776 because I'm pretty sure that is over. Also, it was only working on rifle displays and PC carbine displays. Was not working on pistol displays, which I didn't even think about. So I'm a dumbass. But yeah, go over to RNL Displays. There's friggin'
76
codes.
Still active.
It's still active. Oh my gosh.
It's
I'm
to the
not
11th,
sure how
right?
many days, but it was set up for like a week and change or something like that. So,
Oh wow. See, I misspoke. I do apologize. I thought that was only going on until the 4th. So there you go, folks. Now
Nah, Rob was driving down the street when he set that up and he saw 7-Eleven. He was like, that'll be a good day to cut off the Coke.
There you go. Rob was driving down the street in his 6-0.
Run some more time, and maybe everybody doesn't get to celebrate on the same days. So figure give it a little larger window. Plus, we haven't technically ran a sale like that in quite a while. So, as you mentioned, it doesn't cover the pistol displays. So,
Yes.
now, like an AR pistol, yes, but any of the rod mounts, no. So,
You don't like to mount rods?
well, no.
Yeah, he does. He keeps talking about poles going up.
And he does.
Oh God, yeah. This is
And he wants to display them too.
So yeah. All right. Thanks again for joining us, everybody.
I thought Rob was in the Army, not the Navy.
It's gonna display your rod, folks.
It's getting crazy, so we're out. Eat a salad.
Adios, Palacio.